Welcome back to another episode of the Down by Zero podcast. I am joined here with my fellow Celtics fan, Tyler Hero.
Someone did say that in the comments that I look like Tyler Hero.
That's not funny because I thought that was real funny. How are you today, bro?
I'm still a little hurt by the JT news, but it's part of the game. He'll be back. JT will be back.
He will be back. And I just saw that his dad said that Jayson Tatum will be ready in 8 to 9 months.
Mm-hmm. I agree. The way technology is and the way everything's more advanced, I think it'll be quicker than what it was before.
Yeah.
Just don't want to rush him back too fast.
Prayers up for JT, but we can't forget that this also happened to Kyrie and Dame in the same year.
Well, Kyrie torn ACL, Dame, yeah. Same thing with like DeJounte Murray, so
yeah,
it sucks when star players go down.
Yeah, and you know it hit me a little harder because I actually tore my shit. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was there.
I actually tore my shit, and what's funny is Tatum was in surgery the next day. You know how long it took me, a regular schmo, to get an MRI?
A couple weeks, huh?
It took me 3 weeks just to get an MRI.
Let alone surgery.
Surgery took me a month.
That's what happens when you got 300 mil. When you're the 300 mil man, put him into. I'm surprised he didn't go to surgery that night. Damn near, but shit, they said the next morning he was into surgery, so it's basically the same. But it sucks, man, because he was having the best game of the series and probably the most important game. He had like 42. I would probably say he was on track to have the best game of his career against the Knicks that game. He was going ape shit.
Game 5, the Celtics actually came out and, they didn't fold. And Jaylen Brown did what he had to do to keep the Celtics alive at least one more game.
Jaylen Brown showed why he's also a 300 mil man because he came in and he took that leadership role. We all questioned if he can be the number one. And so far he showed that he can be a number one guy because he played phenomenal basketball last night.
Yeah. How much hope does that bring to you as a Celtics fan? Are we still in the series, or is New York going to see the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals?
No, if you think this series is done, you're just dumb because like we have a very good team still. Am I saying we're gonna win? No, the odds are against us.
This will probably come out after Game 6, so y'all would probably already know the results.
Jayson Tatum, ultimatum, we hate him. First person shooter mode, we turn your son in a funeral.
We see Halliburton on the other side of the Eastern Conference world. We see Halliburton, Miles Turner, Nembhard, and all of them for wanting the 60-plus win Cleveland Cavaliers.
I called this. When this series happened, everyone was like, Cleveland's going to win in 5. I was like, nah, this series is going to be closer than what y'all think. I was actually wrong about that because it wasn't closer than what I thought because Indiana killed their ass. I had Indiana in like 6 or 7. They won in 5. I know Cleveland had some injuries, but like Cleveland didn't stand a chance, bro. Indiana mopped them.
Does winning 60 games in the regular season mean anything anymore? It's an accomplishment for sure, but in terms of playoff basketball where you got to see a team 4+ times, does it mean anything?
I mean, it does because in the regular season, you want to create good habits. You want to create that chemistry. And when you're winning the whole regular season, then you get attached to those good habits that you're creating through the season. You create that chemistry with your team, and it goes into the playoffs, and maybe y'all on a good stretch of runs from the regular season, and that will take you to the playoffs. So you should always want to play good in the regular season. You're gonna have bad stretches. Like Indiana did not have a good first half of the season, but I think that after the All-Star break, I think their record was like, I don't know the exact record, but they finished second half of the season, like they would have been first in the East. So they had a really good second half, and it's showing because now in the playoffs they're playing really good. And this whole thing where people voted Tyrese Halliburton as the most overrated player, I bet they wouldn't do that again because he is getting to it.
He's getting busy for sure. Let's look at the road that the Pacers went through. Obviously, they beat the Bucks 4-1 to get to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the next round. Cleveland sweep the Heat, which wasn't even a contest, but when these two teams met up, it was obvious that the Pacers were the better team. And not to put like no shame on like Donovan and DG, but their role players really didn't show up. If you've seen Max Strus, he's a meme right now. He's a meme because he went 0 for 9 in an elimination game.
After telling them like, if you don't want to be here, go home. And he seemed like you wanted to be there. You went 0 for 9 in the elimination game. You supposed to be a sharpshooter, bro. You couldn't give us one.
Not having that supporting cast, it showed. And I don't know, like we're a lot of people saying that they're hyping up Ty Jerome and Max Strus. I mean, they're good players, but when it really counts,
Playoffs is a different breed, bro.
yes, it is.
Playoffs are a different breed. Shout out to Indiana, though. They just sitting there waiting. They waiting to see if they going to get that rematch with the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, or they going to get the rematch with the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
In the Western Conference, we have the Timberwolves, who are awaiting the winner of the Nuggets and the Thunder, which is a hell of a series.
Shout out to Minnesota, bro. I have not been high on Julius Randle the past few years because his play in New York. But, bro, Julius Randle getting busy. Julius Randle is getting fucking busy. And so is Rudy Gobert. Me and Marco are the biggest Rudy Gobert haters. I can't stand Rudy Gobert. But he been hooping, bro. He been shutting me the fuck up. I think Minnesota should be the favorite right now.
To win it all in the West?
To win it all.
Wow. You know, Rudy Gobert, he went off in that elimination game against the Lakers. Obviously proven that the Lakers were frauds. Luka didn't mean anything to them, and that LeBron's probably going to retire after this year without anything to show for it. That's what I think is going to happen.
No, I don't think that's going to. But did I not call the Lakers thing?
Oh, that they didn't have a big man and their depth wasn't like...
That they weren't, this year they weren't a team that was ready to compete.
Yeah. But they were hyped. They were so high.
Because when they made the Luka trade, they went on a good stretch. Again, it's regular season. They went on a good stretch for a little bit. But when they made the trade, you seen the flaws. You seen the no big man. You seen the no depth. You seen the no shooters around Luka Braun. You seen the no defensive side. You got a rookie coach. All these are big flaws, even though JJ Redick is a great coach. But I knew this team was not ready to compete this year. This trade was for the future. The Luka trade was not for now. But you're not going to pass up on a generational guy who you can build around for the next 10 plus years. They were on LeBron's timing before the Luka trade. They're not on LeBron's timing no more. They on Luka's timing. They like, how this is Luka shit. LeBron, you going to play one more year. He going to play one more year. He's going to play one more year, guaranteed.
Okay.
They're going to build a team next year to try to win because next year might be his last year. But now they on Luka's time, bro. So that's why they made the trade, because it was looking real spooky. They couldn't win with that team. And then when LeBron retires, you just have AD. What are you going to do then?
Which was the whole point of the trade. Yeah, I get you. But you still got gentlemen swept by the Timberwolves.
It's fine. It was no
in the first round.
It's only on the Laker fans who really put all we're going to win the championship. If you really thought that team was going to win the championship, you're foolish. Like, it's not even me being a Celtics fan. It's me seeing the team, understanding the roster, and saying this team is not a team that can compete this year. This is strictly for the future.
Everything you're saying would make me feel good if I was a Lakers fan.
Mm-hmm.
It would make me feel like there's hope.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I've been saying this about the Lakers before they made the Luka trade.
Right. The Rockets and the Warriors in the first round, it went to 7, and it was a pretty entertaining series. But that's when Steph was playing.
Sucks.
And the next round, Steph got hurt. What did he hurt?
His hamstring. Game 1.
And not having Steph for that whole series in the second round hurt them a bunch. Because Jimmy Butler
can't do it by himself.
Cannot.
And it showed that they needed Steph. Like, it showed out. If you don't have Steph, Jimmy can't win by himself, and the supporting cast matters. Because their supporting cast isn't great. It's okay. Like, and in this whole thing with Kuminga, bro, he was hooping, bro. When Steph got hurt and he started playing Kuminga was getting to it. So I think Kerr was wrong for not playing Kuminga early in the playoffs and waiting until Curry got hurt, because he could have been a big factor. So, but it sucks that Curry got hurt. They're most definitely going to run it back with the same team, probably go build around those two, Jimmy, Draymond, and Curry.
Which they should. I mean, Curry's in Cancun now, which is crazy to think that either Ant, Hallie, Brunson, or SGA is going to get their first ring. The Thunder and Nuggets series, Thunder had to beat the Grizzlies to get there, and the Nuggets had to beat the Clippers. And then the Nuggets and Clippers series went 7, but the Clippers choked in that game 7.
Same old Harden.
Harden is Lamar Jackson.
Same
Lamar
old
Jackson.
Harden.
It's shining during the regular season and then shriveling up when your team needs you the most.
He not Joe Burrow.
I mean, Joe Burrow hasn't been to the playoffs since 2020.
But he don't choke though. He made it to the Super Bowl.
and didn't win.
We're not gonna get into that because we already know the truth about it.
But obviously, the Thunder and the Nuggets might go 7-2, but Game 6,
It's big.
it's gonna be tonight. I'll put the score right here. SGA, composure. When you're down 2-1, he's smiling. When that OKC team was down 2-1 and it was looking pretty grim, OKC showed a lot of maturity for being that young of a team. Even in their interviews, how they were talking about, being down and how you gotta stick to yourself. It was impressive, bro. And I love to see shit like that. And now OKC's up. Exciting stuff. Let's see who's gonna see the Timberwolves.
I got Minnesota coming up.
Okay. How about this draft lottery, JR?
Man, what a crazy turn of events. I want to know how Mavs fans feel now. Like, do they still hate Nico? Are they like, okay, we forgive you a little bit? Even though he didn't do nothing to get that first overall pick, but like,
he didn't do anything. He did it. He traded Luka for that first overall pick.
Yeah, basically, but he didn't get them the first overall pick. It just felt, people are saying it's rigged and stuff like that, which I don't know. I don't ever follow into them conversations, but either way, rigged or not, y'all got the first overall pick. You got to be happy about that. And if this was last year's draft, I can understand why maybe y'all be like, oh, it doesn't matter because that last year's draft was sucked. But this year's draft, you got the first overall pick. You know who's gonna be there at number 1.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm not gonna get. He's not what Wemby was, but he's close to what Wemby was.
Cool. And I remember like a year ago. I hope I could find this clip. Are you talking about Cooper Flag? And I was like, who? Oh, but the world now knows who Cooper Flag is.
Cooper Flag, yep, bro. Cooper Flag is a demon. He's a monster. He still has to get better a little bit, but he's a guy that you should want to bring in right away.
I feel bad for teams like the Jazz,
The Hornets,
the Wizards, who were full tank mode, didn't even win 20 games.
who actually need the first overall, who actually need a Cooper Flag, not Dallas. Dallas don't need a Cooper Flag. They got AD, they got Kyrie. They literally have a good team. Like, you just add Cooper Flag, they might be a finals contender next year if that's who they draft.
It depends how they all mesh together. I put a poll out saying that, are the Mavs back with Cooper Flag, or do they need to do more in the offseason? I think they need to do more in the offseason, not just add Coop and then you're good.
No, they'll need to go add another guard until Kyrie come back.
Right.
I don't know if they do a Clay. Maybe they bring him back just for that shooting guy. Because it's going to be a weird mesh if they bring in Cooper Flag because he's a 4. He's not a you can play him at the 3. He's not a great shooter, like three-point shooter. He's not that. People are going to be like, he shot 38% from 3. He only takes like 1 or 2 threes a game. Maybe 1. He doesn't take a lot of threes, and a lot of them are like wide open looks. So you're telling him to go from 1 3 in college a game that's a wide open look to NBA threes that are like, you're going to have to learn how to get off your own shot. He's not that type of player right now. So if you put him at the 3, your defense is going to be good, but your spacing is going to be terrible.
Right.
So they're going to have to figure that out. And I think he does come in right away, and he does start because he will make an impact right away.
It was luck. They had a 1.8% chance to get the number 1 overall pick.
And they got it, though. But that's a question to the Mavs fans. I want to know, how do you feel about Nico now? You still hate him? Or is there like a little bit of like, okay, we don't hate you as much. You got us another white boy. Another white boy that could come in and change things. So,
You got to maximize what you have now next year. What you have in AD, you got to maximize what you have when Kyrie comes back. And then depending on how good Cooper Flag is, he can win Rookie of the Year. He could be a first team, like all rookie first team. He could be this defensive minute, play both sides. You got to maximize what you have this year and put him in a good situation, like we did Jayson Tatum in his rookie year.
And then he plays the same position as AD. His game kind of translates to AD. He's a really good defender. They're both long. They both can guard the perimeter and they can rim protect. And offensively, if you look at their game is a little similar when it comes to like how they play. They're both good in the mid range. They're both good in the post. They're both like decent passers, 3-point shooters. They're capable of shooting threes, but it's not the best part of their game. So now you put him with AD, someone who's won a championship, someone who's been a top player in the NBA, who's won Finals MVP. I think he won Finals MVP when they won in the bubble. First overall pick. You pair him up with AD, he's going to learn a lot. He's going to get better with AD. And you pair them up together, that's a good defensive lineup. And then he's going to learn offensively from AD. They play just alike. So these whole talks of should they trade it for Giannis, I wouldn't. I don't think so. Because Giannis is a great player, but now you have a guy who could come in and make an impact right away as a rookie, and he can be your future, and he's going to learn. He's just going to keep getting better offensively.
I like it. I like Cooper Flag in this Maverick situation. Do you like Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey as a second overall pick? Who do Spurs draft?
I like Ace Bailey. I couldn't remember which one. I like Ace Bailey.
Okay.
He's more of like he can score the pill. Dylan Harper's more of a shifty guard, which he's good. He can hoop, but it's harder for those shifty small guards to come in the league right away and make an impact. Ace Bailey, he's more of like a big wing who can score. It's easier for those guys to come in and make an impact right away.
And we're seeing I don't know if you've seen like these draft combine clips. I seen Trey Johnson, you know, that guard from Texas. Yeah. I've seen him. He didn't miss one 3-pointer in this one drill, which was pretty damn incredible. And they're doing the 40s. They're doing the what is it called?
Vertical.
The verticals, scrimmages. So all that's happening right now.
Same thing with him. He's a wing. He could come in and score the pill. So I feel like it's easier for him to come in and accustom to the NBA than a smaller guard. Like one of them small safety guards. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of those in the league that don't really pan out because of the way the NBA is played and how the NBA, you know, you need to be tall, you need to be athletic. And there's 6'5", 6'7" guys like Luka and JT that can do the same things those small guards can do. Like, it's hard to build around a Darius Garland because he's shifty as hell. He can score the pill, but at the end of the day, he's what, 6 foot, 6'1"? Mm-hmm. He's always going to be a liability on the defensive side. And if you put a big body on him, you make it hard for him on offense. So that's why all these NBA teams are looking for the bigger body guys that can do the same thing these little guards can do.
So the lottery. People like to say, oh, it's rigged. Is it really rigged, though? Maybe. You know, I mean, we don't know for sure. Only the people behind the scenes.
And we'll never find out.
Yeah. But the NFL does it a little bit different. They just go off record. And if you have the worst record in the NFL, you have the number one overall pick.
Automatic. Like, as soon as the season ends, we know who has the first overall pick.
Which is, you know, comforting in a sense because you know, like, if you're the worst team, you're going to get one of the best players in the draft. In the NBA, it's a little different. Mm-hmm. The lottery. Should the NFL adopt the lottery like the NBA draft does?
I think it would make it a lot more interesting, bro. Like, I understand the comfort of like, oh, my team's the worst team. We're going to get the first overall pick. We're going to be able to get the guy we want. But like, just imagine the more excitingness it would bring if we're like, what pick are we going to get? Let's say your team finished like 9-8 and you get the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Or your team finished like 2-14 or whatever it is.
Right. And
you get the first overall. Like, I think it would just make it exciting.
I think it would work. And I think like, you know, the NFL is all about money. All about, you know, the NFL offseason. Is its own season in a sense. And it's way bigger than the NBA offseason, I would say. I think the only thing that's the same between the NFL and the NBA is the trade deadline and when the trade deadline is open. So they both have these superstar blockbuster trades, which is cool, but I think the NFL just takes it to a different level. And when you talk about having an NFL lottery in the NFL draft, I think that takes it above anything we could ever imagine a normal NFL offseason would be. I think it will multiply it times 100.
I agree. Yeah, so let us know. Would you want to keep the NFL draft the way it is and you just know your draft pick as soon as the season ends? Or would you want an NFL draft lottery? Man, that would be something to watch. That'd be entertaining.
Would it?
That'd be very nerve-wracking.
Okay. Is there a player in the NBA that's worth trading the number one overall pick if you're the Mavericks?
I mean, Giannis is the only one, right? It's just like, do you want to do that? Do you want to bring in someone who will come in, be your best player right away? He'll most definitely make an impact. but you probably have a 5-year window with all your core. Because AD probably got 5. Giannis probably he has 5. He probably got a little more than 5, but for sure 5 in his prime. And then Kyrie got like maybe 5.
Right.
So do you risk that window instead of bringing in a young guy like Cooper Flag, who I think is barely like 19, and you got the next generation with him on some like Dirk shit? I wouldn't say like some Luka shit, but we know. Yeah.
You trade your best players.
And you bring in that guy, and he can learn from AD. And once AD goes out the window, he takes the throne. And now you have that first overall pick who learned from AD to be your leader of your team that you could build around. I think you just go to the safe pick, and I think you go to first overall pick.
To me, as a fan of hoops, it's more exciting to get that fresh 19-year-old rather than getting Giannis or, another one of these top 10 superstars that's worth the number 1 overall pick. I think it's more exciting to get Coop now. But it's not about excitement. It's about team building. It's about committing to who you want to build your team around. And what if the Mavs actually say, yeah, let's do it. I want to build my team around Giannis, even though Giannis has his own limitations. But Giannis, like you said, is going to come in there and make his own impact.
I mean, if they do that, it's not a wrong thing. I mean, you're cutting your window short. Like, again, you're hoping these next 5 years you win one or multiple. I mean, one ring at least, right? The whole goal is just to win one. If you can win more, then that's great. But you have a smaller window. You have a 5-year window for sure. And I guess that's, if you're going off what Nico wants, that's kind of what he said he wanted. Remember when he traded Luka and he was like, my window is 3 to 5. I don't look past that. I look for the next 3 to 5 years. So I guess if you go off his logic, then I guess, Giannis would be the guy if the trade was available. I would just go Cooper Flag. It just makes more sense to me.
Let us know, Mavs fans.
Because if Giannis coming right now, they finals contender. Because it's not going to be just straight up. It's not going to be, we'll trade you the first overall pick for Giannis. No, they're going to have to give up way more for that. I'm going Cooper Flag. Y'all let us know. What would you do if you were the Mavericks? You keeping the first overall pick and drafting Cooper Flag, or are you trading a king's ransom and going to go get Giannis? Let us know. And boom, just like that, we gave you another episode by Down by Zero Basketball Edition. Playoffs are mid-form. We close to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. So we got some good basketball coming. Let us know who you think is going to win the finals. Let us know if your team is still in it. And let us know what you think, Mavs. Are y'all happy with getting the first overall pick? Do y'all love Nico now, or do y'all still hate Nico? And would y'all trade it for Giannis? It's a lot of things to talk about. But just like that, with another episode of Down by Zero, we are out.